there. Welcome. Stop making that face. I can't take him nowhere. Anyway, this is your girl Valerie Mason Chase, and I am here with the Cookie Man this week. Last week, Cookie Man wasn't here. He's under the weather. He's feeling a lot better, so thank God he's here with us this evening.
Thank you.
And I just want to thank anyone who's watching now or at a later time. And I'm going to say this up front because I always forget to say it, which is to like, subscribe, and share.
Did you go live?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did hit the live button.
You always forget to do that. Just making sure.
I did. I hit live. If you see in broadcast up there, that means that I remembered to hit the live button. Right. But anywho, our topic for this evening, Frank, is something that impacts a lot of people, but most especially women. And I know you and I have dealt with this issue in our own relationship.
Absolutely.
And that's the issue of body image and how it impacts one personally, and also the impact that it has relationally, how it has the potential. It doesn't always impact, but it does have the potential to impact relationships. So I wanted to have a chat this evening. Hey, sis. And talk about this subject. And I have a couple of very special guests with me on this evening. I'm going to bring on the first one now, and it is none other than Jade Sashay Tasia Mason.
Oh, a whole government. Hey, y'all.
I know I said your whole government. Oh, okay. So this is Jade Mason, and if you notice the Mason and the Mason, she happens to be my niece. She is the daughter of my eldest brother, Joe. So Jade, welcome to the program. I'm so happy to have you on this evening.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
So what would you like to share with the listening audience? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name is Jade, aka JD Pooh as well. I'm a lover of God. I'm a lover of Christ. I love to love. I love to laugh. I'm an artist. I model. I act. I write. I write for the Lord. I do poetry. And I love to eat.
Listen, that's a family trait, baby. We always gonna get together, we gonna eat. So I have another very special guest with me this evening. I'm gonna bring her on, Miss Imani Antoinette. Hi, Imani.
Hello dear.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. And before the broadcast started, I was just saying to Imani how much she looks like her grandma. And Sadell and Jackie, y'all know, you remember Sister White from New Testament Church God.
Oh, I know what she looks like now.
Yeah.
Right now,
so this is Imani. Imani, thank you. And again, I would just like to welcome you and just share with the listening audience anything you want to share about yourself.
Yes, as you mentioned, my name is Imani Antoinette. My pronouns are she, her. I am a writer. I am a creative. I am a podcaster, a lover of the arts, a servant of my community. I just really be out here just trying to spread love and joy. So.
Yes. Two creatives here. Wow. Yes. So, this whole topic of body positivity, it's actually a phrase that I heard for the first time maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And just broadly, it refers to the assertion that all people deserve to have a positive body image, regardless of how society and popular culture view ideal shape, size, and appearance. So when did you first become aware of the term body positivity, and what, if anything, does that term mean to you? So Imani, I'll start with you.
I heard it right before the pandemic hit, so probably 2019. And I started my self-love journey, like really heavily diving into it. Thank you, Sister Jackie. Very heavily into it during the pandemic. And it has changed from when I first heard it. I thought that this was just another term to gaslight inclusion. this was just a term for capitalism to kind of capitalize on, Old Navy has these body positivity genes and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But as I started to understand what it meant for myself, it really meant giving myself permission to exist the way that I want to exist,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
loving my own body, being gentle with my own body.
Mm.
So, long story short, it really changed from when I first heard it to me personalizing it for my own self, my own journey.
Wow, that's deep. Thank you so
Mm-hmm.
much for that. Jade, how would you
Um,
respond
when I first heard about body positivity, I would say the same as about right now in my 30s. I've never heard of it before,
to that?
never recognized the term. But when I think of body positivity, I make my own definition because to
Mm,
me that means loving yourself for who you are, loving
mm,
yourself from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet.
mm.
That's including everything in between, and
Yes.
not caring about what anybody or society have to say or feel or think about you. That you
Mhm.
know who you are and who you were created to be, outside and inside. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's right, Imani. That's right. Snap it up. And y'all, listen, put some snap ups in the chat right quick. Put some snaps up.
Something, if I can, something like that takes a strong individual to
Mm,
drown out the outside noise of what that's supposed to mean, because so many people get caught up with all that noise
yeah.
that emotionally and physically they are hurting themselves
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
because they
Yeah.
pay so much attention to what everyone else is saying.
Oh, that's
So you
true.
have to have a
Hmm.
strong disposition to deal with that.
Mm-hmm. Strong
Yeah.
character.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. For sure.
Oh,
I would,
okay.
I
Okay.
would
There was another
even.
question.
Oh, can I comment on that really quickly?
Okay,
Yes. Yes.
absolutely, sure.
Something. I would think that I would even reframe that to say it takes a strong love of self,
Hmm.
Oh,
a
yeah.
desire to love yourself.
Right. That's
Mm,
right. Mm-hmm.
It's like it's either me or the world, and I'm gonna choose me. So
wow.
Yep, that's right. Yeah,
I
because
like
ain't
that.
nobody like you. Ain't nobody like you. We have to remember
that
that.
part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Wow. I like that. It's me or the world, and I'm going to
that's
choose me.
that's right.
Beautiful. I like that statement. I'm going to write that down. But when I
Right.
listen, I promise to give you credit when I use it. I go ahead, babe.
Have there been times in your life that you have struggled with body image issues? If so, what was that like?
Yep. Oh,
Toss it up. I'll toss it up. Whoever wants to go.
oh, all right. You want to go? You want to go? Okay. Okay. All right.
You
Yes.
toss it. Go.
um,
Go ahead, JJ.
I want to say I struggle with my body in high school.
Mm,
I felt like huge breasts and I hated it. I felt
mm,
like I had the biggest breast in the world. I wasn't comfortable with my body at all. I don't know where that came from or stemmed from, but I just didn't like it. I was uncomfortable and it stopped me from doing things that I really wanted to do. I'll never forget when I was in high school, I wanted to play basketball so bad. I loved the sport so much. But what
mm,
held me back is the shape of my breast area.
mhm,
I
mhm.
I didn't like it. I didn't love it about myself, and it just deteriorated me, and I didn't even realize it. And I'll never forget. A girl in high school made a comment about my breast, and I just went into a bubble. I was just like, oh my God. So I was literally wearing baggy shirts, baggy everything because I felt like it was just too much for me. And I struggled with it for a while until I had to grow into, you know what I mean, to love myself and to realize, this what I got is genetic. You know what I and I had to really come to the understanding that like it's okay. You know what I mean? If you want to,
Mhm.
if you I had to be comfortable with who I was, and I just wasn't
Yeah,
comfortable, and I struggled with that really, really, really bad in high school, and it stopped me from doing things that I really wanted to do in my heart. So
yeah.
yeah,
Mm,
hmm
that's good.
yeah,
Imani, how would you respond to that?
hmm
I can relate to that 100%. I puberty hit early for me. And I just remember me getting Jade. I remember being in Macy's with my grandmother who was raising me at the time.
Yes.
And when I was getting brow size, it was sixth grade, and then my grandmother was like, "She's a double what?"
Double
And
D.
it was,
Oh.
"She's a double what?" And I was like, "Oh Lord, my grandma's gonna pass out on this floor." So I definitely relate. Most of my life, I've been technically plus size.
Mhm.
And my body has always been different from the girls in my school.
Yeah.
Um, and when I was in my early 20s, I was diagnosed with fibroids and I gained over 100 pounds.
Wow.
Mm.
So, and even now, like being closer to like 300 and trying to understand what all that means for me and how my place in society, I've always battled with um, my inner dialogue. I've always battled with myself in
Mm-hmm.
trying to believe that I was good enough because
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
everyone had like flat tummies,
Mhm.
and when you see smaller bodies being able to dress how they want to dress, and here I am in the middle of summer wearing hoodies to cover my arms and my stretch marks and my rolls and my back fat, and I'm
Yeah.
over here about to have a heat stroke in
Yeah.
the middle of
Yeah.
summer because of my insecurities. um I knew that something had to shift.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say that I've had this inner battle with myself since I was a child and even now,
Mm.
because confidence sometimes isn't consistent. Sometimes you
Yes.
have to hype yourself up some more days than others.
For
Sometimes
real.
you just wake up feeling beautiful. Sometimes you wake
Yeah.
up feeling like Bernie Mac. It depends. Like it really honestly depends.
Yeah. Wow.
Absolutely.
And you know something, I this particular topic is near and dear to my heart because self-esteem and related to body image is something I have struggled with all of my life. And I will be 66 years old in October. And a lot of people may not believe this, but it's something that I even still today struggle with. Like you
Mm-hmm.
said, Imani, there are days that I feel like, hey, girl, you got it going on. You are the shizzle, okay? And then other days when, oh my God, I look in the mirror and I can hardly stand to see what is looking back at me.
Mm-hmm.
So I can absolutely identify with that. And I know Frank and I have been together 42 years. So he has been with me through a lot of these struggles, a lot of these struggles. And there are some days when I have to, when you talk about that internal dialogue, and I know my daughter Sidel mentioned it also,
Mm-hmm.
that internal dialogue can be very damaging. And there's sometimes I have to almost pinch myself and say, Val, no,
Mm-hmm.
get that thought out of your head because
Yeah.
the internal dialogue is saying, oh my God, you look hideous, you're just too big,
Mm-hmm.
this doesn't look right on you. How and honest to goodness, even during the times when we had issues in our marriage, a lot of
Yeah.
times I thought it was because I was a big girl. And I
Mm-hmm.
thought that was it. But, we're going to talk some more about that later.
Yeah.
But so I can absolutely identify. And that's why having this conversation is
Mm-hmm.
very important to me because I realized a long time ago that whatever experience I have, I am not that unique. I am not so special that I am the only one going through whatever it is I'm going through. And there
That's
are
right.
so many others, especially us females, who go through
Yep.
thing, the same
Yep.
thing. And Sadell
Mm-hmm.
said it's like you're telling my life. She was saying that to you, Imani and Jay, says I've lost
Yeah.
over 130 pounds and in the best shape I've ever been, but I still struggle daily. Some days I just can't stand what I see. And
Mm-hmm.
that's my daughter.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
daughter saying that. So I know what that struggle is. Sometimes it's not even about the weight or the size. It's about what you're saying to yourself on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can lose weight, but still inside, feel like a big girl.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Me and Val were having, as we were looking about what the topic was going to be, And I was saying, not only is it a struggle for the person who has a body image or insecurity about themselves, it's a struggle for their partner.
Oh, yes.
Because there are many times, like Val said, we've been together over 40 some odd years, and the struggle's been up and down throughout the years. And there have been a lot of times where I felt I had to tread easy.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be careful what you might joke about, talk about. There are times where I might have wanted to talk about myself and the accomplishment I might have made, bring the weight down, but I had to hold back because I knew
I'd get pissed off.
Right. I knew it wouldn't be received. I'd be angry. How do you do it? I don't want to hear it. So it's tough on both people in a relationship that's dealing with someone's insecurity.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because sometimes he be talking about, oh man, I got to lose 10 and 15 pounds, and I want to say, oh no, he did not. In the presence of a woman who needs to lose 80 pounds. How dare you? I would get so upset with him, but then I had to, realize it is my issue. And try very hard to not visit it on him. But yeah, Frank is absolutely right. When you talk about body positivity, it's not just about challenging how society views people based on their physical size and shape. It also recognizes that judgments are often made based on race, gender, sexuality, and disability. So how do either one of you speak to that? How do you speak to that?
I want to include religion on that too.
And religion, okay.
But go ahead, Imani. Look like you want to speak. Sorry.
No. So I identify as a queer woman. So even navigating like queer spaces and dating, as a bigger girl, that can be a little difficult. I think honestly, we as a society, we spend so much time concerning ourselves with the lives of other people.
Yes.
And that is something that I truly don't understand what the obsession is. I truly don't get where all that pressure, why that pressure has to be there, It's just kind of like, if I'm just showing up in this space as myself, just applaud me for that, because that's enough.
Right.
So when I think about this body positive movement, and I think about how, so many people kind of sit at these intersections of race, of sexuality, of religion, ability, it all just boils down to one thing. Just let people just be who they are. And just worry about yourself. Drink water and just mind your business.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. JJ.
Yes. So I also feel like people to add on, to piggyback off of what you said, Amani, I just feel like people judge you because they judge themselves. At the end of the day, they unhappy with who they are. And sometimes your light and who you are shines very bright, and people can't stand that. So this conversation, I feel like, has an own topic of its own. We got to be real. Both genders are judged when it comes to body image, positivity, race, whatever, gender, all of that. Yeah. So like if you are a woman and you're not showing off your figure or shape, and you that type of individual that like baggy clothes, that like men clothing, you are considered, say if you're not even like gay or whatever, you're considered gay, or you trying to be a man. And when for a lot of women that's not even the case. I just want to be comfortable. Like with me, I like to dress any type of way because that's who I am. Sometimes I want to wear baggy clothes. Sometimes I want to wear a crop top. I go with how I feel. But at the end of the day, we're being judged by how we look and how we dress, instead of checking out what that person's heart look like, what their soul look like. You know what I mean? How they treating themselves and others. Instead, it's about what you're wearing and why you're not wearing clothes that that fits your shape. You know what I mean? So I could just, drool over you. You know, that's just how society wants to drool over you, drool over women, want them to dress in nice clothes and wear pressed out, and want them to dress like that for whatever the reason is. It's so crazy. But if you're not dressing how you want to, if you're dressing how you want to dress, it's a problem, and you're always going to be judged. And that's the world that we live in today.
Absolutely. I think you're right. I think you're judged whether you cover up or whether you feel free and secure enough to expose some skin. Either way, I think people are going to judge you. That's why I love what Imani said. I wrote this one down too, sis, and I'm going to give you credit for this one. Drink water and mind your business.
Ladies, what part do you think social media has played regarding body image?
A huge part.
Yeah, you kind of just talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, a huge part. Think about what you see. Think about TV ads. Think about commercial. Think about when you scrolling up and down on Facebook and Instagram. What do you see? What do you see when you see music videos?
Right.
All of that is getting sucked into young people's mind, adults' mind about, you know, oh, maybe I should look like that, or maybe I should wear that, and maybe I could get the man or woman, whatever, who you choose that I want, if I dress like this and I look like this. Maybe if I suck a little something in my behind to make it bigger, because that's what men want. Or, you know what I'm saying? Instead of thinking about what about looking for me about checking for me about who I am inside. No, society makes you think about what the person looked like first before what their heart looks like.
Yes.
Yeah.
For me, social media has really been a vehicle for my liberation, actually. When I used to, on Instagram is my platform of choice. And on Instagram, I would follow all of these fitness pages thinking that it was going to inspire me. Thinking that if I just lost 100 pounds, I would be worthy, I'd be valuable. And it wasn't helping. I was just getting sucked into this diet culture, this, doing these smoothie challenges every other week. And, I really wasn't sitting in my truth. And I realized, wait, I pay this phone bill. Like, this is my account. I can have 4 hours on my feed. Like, let me change some things around. And I really curated my feed to have women and femmes and queer folks that look like me. And if you and I'm so easily I can realize if someone has bought me as a follower when I'm like, who is this on my page? Like, that is how curated my timeline is.
Yes.
And I started to follow a bunch of plus size influencers who were on Instagram wearing bikinis and showing their bodies and wearing what they want to wear.
Who they are. Yeah.
And then it was kind of like that birds of a feather mentality. As I saw it, I knew it to be true out in this world. And when I saw that example of women who looked like me, men who were bigger bodied, just existing in joy, I decided I'm not gonna love myself when, I'm gonna love myself now. So, yes, social media can have this effect of, this FOMO effect where you feel like you're missing out on something because you don't look like everyone or you feel pressure. That is very well true. And we also have the autonomy to control what we let into our psyche.
That's
We
right.
have the ability to cancel out what doesn't affirm us and what doesn't uplift us. We
Yeah.
have the ability to choose what brings us joy.
That's
So
right.
for me, like, my Facebook is for the church folks, because again, people they do see me as Sister White's granddaughter. My grandmother's out here a whole usher, so I can't. But on Instagram, I'm able to really just be myself and to dress how I want to dress and explore my body, and it has been truly liberating for me.
Yes. On that note, I want to follow up, Imani, on what you were just saying, because in your photos you appear very secure in your own skin and with your body. Talk about what it's like to be so self-confident.
Oh,
Yes.
I don't know if I can talk about that, but I'm gonna try. It's still a process, and we're taking it day by day. But a lot
Mhm.
of it is, like I said, loving. I'm not waiting to look a certain size to experience the life.
Mhm.
Just because I'm not a size 2 or even a 10 doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean that I should sit in the corner and just be small until I
Yeah.
get to that size.
That part. Yep.
Um, I can
Mm-hmm.
dress how I want to dress now. I
Yep.
know Jade was talking about, there are days where I want to look like a stud. I want to wear
Mm-hmm.
baggy clothes, but then there are days where I want to wear sheer tops and I want
Mm-hmm.
to just play around with makeup. I love makeup.
Yes.
I love lashes. I
Mhm.
love all of that. And
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's about choosing me. So I
Mm-hmm.
think I come off looking confident in those photos because in that moment, I'm choosing Imani.
That's
I'm
right.
not really worried about if people like it or not. I actually turn off my I hide my likes on Instagram because it's not about people liking it. It's
Mm.
really for my own liberation. It's really for my
Yeah.
own self. And
Mm-hmm.
that in turn, when I wear these outfits on Instagram, I'm like, oh, I can wear this to the club. Okay. So so I take it from Instagram and now I'm actually outside wearing what I want to wear. And I have just been having the time of my life.
Mm-hmm. I know that's right.
Liberation. Liberation. And
Yes.
it feels good to be that free, doesn't it?
Yes. Oh, it feels so good. I have never
Yeah.
gone back in that box
I
ever.
know that's right.
I hear that. So
Yep.
JJ, I want to ask you something, because you are in the entertainment industry. You're an actor, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
wondering if you have ever not auditioned for a role or been refused a role because you didn't fit the so-called societal norms for shape and size.
Absolutely. Especially before I was so like, oh, I've passed on not submitting
Mm,
for auditions in the past because I so called didn't fit the criteria.
mm-hmm,
And what cracks me up is sometimes in description of what specific casting directors are asking for, they'll say like, "Oh, we're open to any shapes and sizes, ethnic round, ethnic background, hair type, sexuality, whatever the breakdown is. But
mm-hmm.
we prefer a blonde, fit, athletic person who has like a gym background or something, whatever that may
Yeah.
be, which is very, very funny
Mm-hmm.
because you're contradicting yourself. You just said that you're open to these kind of people, but you
Mm-hmm.
know for damn sure you're not looking for a person like me. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely in the past, especially as someone who is plus size and have locks and have shade sides and have thick thighs, they're not really looking particularly for a person like me. They're really looking for somebody in shape. So in the past, I used to not submit for those roles. But I've always heard for a while now, if you don't step into the room and just be you, you don't
Mm-hmm.
never know that you could change a person's mind. You could
Right.
change the director's mind because of your approach and your delivery and how
Mm-hmm.
you bust wide open that audition. So I've definitely stopped looking into the criteria and looking more into the breakdown of that specific character and what they're looking for and how they represent themselves. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so that made me just go into it and just apply for these roles. Now, most of the time, do I get picked? Definitely not. But what surprised me because I started going for these type of roles like commercials and stuff like that, I do get a second call back. And that
Mm.
surprised me because honestly, I'm being real. I don't expect that. But I know
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, whatever doors for me is going to open up either way, and nobody can stop that.
Yeah.
So is this industry? It's so stigmatizing. It's so crazy. Yes, it's gotten better over the years,
Mm-hmm.
but it's
Mm-hmm.
still not where it should be because I'm at the end of the day, I'm representing myself. I'm not only representing myself, I'm representing other people who look like me, who dress like me, who,
Mm-hmm.
you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, who are me. You know what I mean? So, but I know at the end of the day, because of the gifts and who I am and the professionalism and the wisdom
Yeah.
I have gained along the way, I know them doors are gonna open up for me eventually. And I'm sure I'm probably gonna be the first one.
Yes, that's fantastic, Jay. That is fantastic. And something Elizabeth Eladrisi, my daughter-in-law, and Sadell Chase Rosario was my daughter. A lot of family up in here today. Thank you guys. I want to give all of you a shout out. And even those who are watching and you haven't submitted a comment or anything, I appreciate you being here and showing up on this evening. And if you have a question, don't hesitate to write the question in there. But Liz said, also, when you look back through the years, it's like, man, I was so hard on myself then. But you'll look back and be like, wow, I wish I was in that place. Appreciate where you are when you are in that space. She is absolutely right. You know, because it's so funny. There have been times when we've gone through a certain period of time and I thought that I was so big, but then I got bigger. And then I saw the pictures where I used to think I was big, and I said, wow, I wasn't as big as I thought I was. So it's all a matter of perspective. And Liz is right. And you guys have said the same thing, to appreciate where you are, wherever that is. And I know Frank is about to ask a question, but before he does, I know we kind of touched on it in terms of our relationship and how it's been impacted by my own body image issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
True. Well, again, I think I spoke on it earlier. You know, the issue was, how do I navigate just, you know, as I think about what really comes to mind is over the years where Val would hide from me. You know, we wouldn't shower together.
Yeah.
Or she would dress in the other room or put a towel on when I came in. And I would try to reassure her, Val, I'm your husband. I love you for you.
Right.
You don't have to hide from me. Let me touch you. It's not necessary to cringe when I'm gonna touch you. I want to touch you. Whatever's there, I want to touch it. Don't deny me. Don't deny me that. And you know, we have those issues come into play where she's, you know, wondering if I really like looking at her, if I care for her, love her.
And I'm just like you, Uncle Frank.
That's why I said earlier, it becomes a struggle for both people. Silently, you know, I might be suffering because, again, I don't even want to talk about what I feel like I'm going through because she's got enough to deal with on issue. There's just more to bring into the arena. So I would just be quiet about what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling the best I could.
Yeah, that is so true. I did used to, especially when he would touch my middle section. Oh my God. I used to wonder, okay, well, what is he thinking? And then I realized he actually liked touching my fat. He liked touching my rolls, you know, he enjoyed it. So I had to get out of my own head and have it be an enjoyable experience for the both of us, because I had convinced myself that he didn't like touching me. And I used to sometimes even slap his hand away when he would go to touch me in my midsection. But I couldn't have been more wrong about it. Oh, look at what John, that's my son, telling my dad trying to get his on, son. How you think you got here?
Oh my word.
Have any of your relationships been impacted by body image issues? If so, how was that navigated?
Well, I think about my. Oh, I'm sorry. I go ahead. I think about my previous relationship. She's single right now, so. But I think about my previous relationship, and my partner. He was smaller than me, way smaller than me. He was about like 130 pounds wet. And I would also hide and didn't want him to see my body and change, like wouldn't want to be completely naked in front of him. And I remember when we would cuddle and he would hold my stomach and he would just like hold my fupa and just cradle me. And it was such a eye-opening moment for myself because I realized it wasn't my relationship with him that I needed to work on, it was my relationship with myself.
Yes. Yeah.
And a lot of that, now that I'm, navigating the singlehood, and the queer space, a lot of that confidence, when you feel it for yourself, you exude that. And people
Mhm.
are just like, it's like a magnet. And people would tell me that all the time, Imani, if you just really honed in and you loved yourself, you will attract people who are going to love your body and feel the same way about it. And I
Yeah.
didn't really believe it. I felt like I knew that my partner wanted someone who looked like this. My partner wanted someone that had abs. My partner, how could they possibly want me, although we were
Mhm.
together for 4 years in the same bed? And then I really decided to one, choose love for myself, and two, fall into the love that was around me. And I
Mm.
think that is the biggest piece. If someone says, I love you as you are, believe that. It's okay to believe that. It's
Yeah.
okay to fall into that. It's okay to cover yourself with that love, and sometimes even use it for reassurance when you don't have it for yourself.
Yeah.
Um,
That's right.
so in terms of like how navigating through that, it was believing my partner when they said, "Look, I think you are the finest thing since sliced bread," um,
Yeah.
and then believing that for myself. If this person loves me, why can't I love me? So it was like a two and two.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Right.
Liz agrees with you. She says it's almost
Yeah.
always about the relationship with yourself. Yeah, Liz,
Yeah.
you are absolutely right. Hmm.
Mhm.
Jay, did
Yeah.
you want to respond to that question?
Yeah. I'm on the other side of the spectrum with that. I've I've dated two people with body image, um, personal feelings that they felt about themselves.
Hmm.
And one was verbally expressive and the other was not, and silence is a killer.
Mm.
Um, so with my partner in the past and how we navigate is that we got to the point where we had conversation. Well,
Hmm.
don't you care about yourself? What don't you like about yourself? And what do you want to do about it? And eventually, they started the weight loss journey and got the, I believe the gastric sleeve. I'm mistaken. I might be wrong, might be not. But one of the weight loss surgeries where, and now they look good and they feel comfortable about themselves. No, then we're not dating anymore. But the fact that she took the steps to get to where how she wanted to love herself, I just love that.
Yeah.
um and on I've dated someone else who just, I can tell off the back, just did not love who they were and what they looked like, and they were always uncomfortable with not wanting to be naked in front of
Hmm.
me. They will
Hmm.
always wear clothing, even to bed. But then it got to a point where they got comfortable, because I could tell that they didn't like the way they looked like, and we
Hmm.
didn't really have the conversation. But I could tell because of our relationship and how I was showing my love to her, she
Hmm.
started doing certain things that made her want to start loving herself.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I thought that was a blessing in disguise, because sometimes you don't know how the effect that you have on other people. Because I'm
Yeah.
the type of person, as you all, like I love you for you. Like I love you for your heart. I'm not dating you because of your body. I'm not dating you because of your hair, the color of your eyes. I'm dating you and because I want to get to know you. I want to
Yes.
know your soul. I'm not interested about how you look like, because at the end of the day, how you treat me surpasses the outer appearance of you.
Yes.
But
That's good.
yes.
That's very
Mm-hmm.
good. That's very good. Well, you know,
Mm-hmm.
as wonderful as the body positivity movement is, it is not without criticism. And one of the criticisms of the movement is that it makes the appearance of the body one of the most important elements of a person's self-perception and neglects all the other elements of a person's identity that are more important than how someone looks. Some suggest that body neutrality rather than body positivity should be the order of the day because it focuses on the body's function and what it can do rather than its appearance. They think that that is a better option. So, what are your thoughts on that?
To me, they the same. They go hand in hand because still at the end of the day, you still judging a person. Like say if someone's in a wheelchair, you still judging them. You still judging them by their capabilities. That's the same thing as judging someone by their breast size, hip size, forehead size. It's still a judgment. Once again, if you're not searching a person in their heart for who they are, you're still judging them. You're judging the outer appearance. You're judging a function. Because I can't function a certain way, so you're gonna think of me as a certain way. So I feel like those two still go hand in hand. It's still the same thing to me. They just dumbing it down.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel.
Imani, what do you think?
I agree. I think when we talk about, I think about in my day job, I work doing equity work and like diversity and inclusion. So I'm always having to think about how to include everyone that sits at the margin at different intersections. And then, like Jade said, it brings up the now it shifts the focus to ability, and now we have to start talking about ableism. And we have to start thinking about who that excludes. And now it's I wish that there was a world that we didn't need body positivity. I wish that there was a space where we didn't have to have these terms to create safe spaces. I wish that people could just exist as they choose and as they are and how they were created. So I don't necessarily agree that we should shift to focusing on the function and all that stuff because you're leaving a whole bunch of folks out of the conversation if you do that. But I also wish that we could just stray away from body positivity and just be positive. And we could just be positive. We can just focus on encouraging folks and uplifting folks. I am an affirmations queen. I will stop you in the street to say your shoes look beautiful.
That's
I will
right.
stop you at a bar and say, "Girl, your lashes.
Yeah.
Where did you get them from?" So if we could just focus on positivity and let that be that, I think that would be a better solution.
Absolutely.
And you know, Imani, it's so interesting that you say that because I do the same thing all the time. I will walk up to them and say, "Oh my God, you are wearing that dress. Oh my God, fabulous shoes. Your hair looks fabulous." And the interesting thing is, not everybody can accept that compliment.
That's so true.
People have such difficulty accepting that compliment. And my husband's making that face because I do it to men too. I'll walk up also, you know, and not in a flirtatious way, but if he's dressed really nicely, has on a nice suit or nice shoes, and I'll even ask him, "Where did you get that?" Because I want that for my husband. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's very interesting that even when you bring that positivity to someone and compliment them on whatever it is, they don't always accept it.
I just think it's just about probably first being caught off guard, wondering if you crazy, that you just walk up to me and I don't know you from a can of paint. And then, like I said, the easiest thing is I'm not sure how to accept a compliment from someone that I don't even know.
Yeah, but I mean, like Imani said, it would be wonderful. And I know this is kind of idealized situation, but it would be wonderful if we lived in a world where we were so comfortable in our own skin and with each other that it's okay to walk up to a stranger. I speak to strangers all the time. They don't always speak back because they probably thinking in their head, "Well, I don't know her. Where do I know her from?" I don't have to know you to speak to you. To everybody I cross paths with. You know, my children used to cringe sometimes because I'd walk up to strangers and start a whole conversation, and they would say, "Mom," they'd be embarrassed. But to me, that's just part of who I am. So yes, Sadell said, "Yes, she does."
When I'm in Brooklyn and address people just to say hi. My best buddy Gary said, "Frank, you've been living in Pennsylvania too long. This Brooklyn, you can't just be saying hi to people. Why not?"
You know,
but I even did that when I lived in Brooklyn. Yeah, go ahead, Imani.
No, I was gonna say it's so funny. My mother actually taught me this. This is a gift from my mother. She said you speak to everyone from the bus driver to someone that's holding a door for you. And I think also too why it's uncomfortable for folks because I remember reading a study that said people are more than likely to talk about a bad experience than rather a
Mm.
good one.
Yes.
And I think
Yes.
it's because we aren't used to sharing positivity. We aren't
Yeah.
Mm.
we're used to judgment. We go out thinking, I wonder what people are going to think about me. And that's not necessarily, you're not thinking, I wonder if someone's going to give me a compliment. You're thinking, I wonder if someone's going to say I look crazy or is going to judge me from what I'm going to want to wear. So a lot
Yeah.
of that is really wiring how you're interacting with society. And I think if there were more people who have that confidence and realize you don't lose anything if you pour into somebody else's cup,
That's
it's
Amen.
right. Come
okay
on.
to say
Yeah.
you look good, friend. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
more folks would be comfortable.
And a lot of
I,
times they need that because they don't get it.
they don't get it. And just like Sidel
Mhm.
said, it's a beautiful thing to do. You never know how that one sentence can impact someone's
Yeah.
life. Just,
Absolutely.
just that one
Absolutely.
compliment.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I
Hmm.
just want to ask you both. So
Hmm.
what would you say to what words of advice or encouragement would you share with any young person, but a woman in particular who is struggling with body image issues and self acceptance? What would you say to her? Whoever wants to go first.
Um, I actually, I was led to do this. I actually wrote down a couple. I looked up the words "love yourself"
Mm-hmm.
and I searched the internet "love yourself" and I was looking up some Bible verses because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like a lot of the times, whatever we're going through, the word really helps us get through.
Yeah, yeah.
And I found four. If I could do all four, I hope that's okay.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay.
You got
One
free
of the
reign,
first
baby. Go
ones,
right ahead.
one of the first ones I found was First John 3:1.
Uh-huh.
See what kind of love the Father has given to us that we should be called children of God, and so
Yeah.
we are. The
Mm-hmm.
reason why the world does not know us is that it did not know Him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Another one I have is Samuel 16:7. But the Lord said to Samuel, do not look on his appearance or on the height of his stature,
I love
because
that.
I have rejected him. For the Lord sees not as man sees. Man looks on the outward appearance, but the
Yes.
Lord looks on the heart.
Yes.
I have two more.
Go ahead,
Um,
baby.
Song of Solomon 4:7. You are
You said what?
altogether
You said
beautiful.
4-7?
Chapter 4, verse 7.
Okay.
You are altogether beautiful, my love. There is no flaw in you.
Mm.
And then my favorite one, what a lot of us most likely heard, but if not, is Psalms 139:13-15.
Yes.
For you formed my inward parts. You knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yeah.
Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well. My pain was not hidden from you when I
Mm-hmm.
was being made in secret, inwardly woven in the depths of the earth. Like, shows you that it's nobody like you, baby. And
Mm-hmm.
if you don't know how to love yourself, ask God how you should love yourself. Because
Mm.
the greatest one who knows how to love you and do love you is God.
Mm-hmm. I love
Mhm.
that, JJ.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And I wrote down all them scriptures. Thank you so much. Okay, Imani.
Oh, I love that.
No, listen.
For me, it's give yourself grace.
That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
Grace
Mhm.
has been saving my life these days.
Mhm.
If I can ask God for grace, I can give it to others and I can give it to myself.
That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think of this journey, this self love journey to coming back home to yourself is not a linear journey.
Mhm.
There are going to be ups, there are going to be downs, there are going to be downs. And I often tell people you are worthy and you're worth it.
That's right.
Choose
Mm-hmm.
yourself every
Mhm.
single time.
That's
It's a choice
right.
between you and something else. If you choose you, I promise you can't go wrong.
That's
So
right.
I think, just giving yourself grace, because we aren't in a society yet that reflects or makes it safe enough for us to even be gentle with ourselves.
Yeah.
We're always trying to
Mm-hmm.
be like someone else or compare ourselves to, what other people have, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't have this, or I'm lacking this, or I don't look like that. But in that moment, if you just decide to give yourself a little bit of grace,
Yeah.
that is a
Mm-hmm.
buffer between you and all that other darkness that is trying to seep in.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Powerful, 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 powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you ladies have just totally blown me away this evening with your depth, your intellect, your insight, your openness. It has truly, truly been amazing. And I don't know what topic I can use, but at some point I may invite y'all back again to talk about something. And again, make sure anyone who is watching, make sure you like, subscribe, and share, because I know most of us may know someone who is now or has in the past struggled with issues concerning body image. And I think that they can benefit from this. Sidel said she's over there crying.
Oh,
I'm so proud of y'all. So I want to thank you all so much. And you can find both of these sisters on Instagram.
Yes.
Hold on, let me write in what your Instagram is.
I would just caveat for people who've known me from the church, just pray on it. If you want to give it to God first before you come to my page. Just give yourself a second.
To me, go to God and remember that I love me and God
right?
loves me too.
Thank you, James.
Right. Okay. All right. So thank you guys. I want to thank you all so much. What was this? Onika Greenwood, consider it already done. Yes, yes. Thank you so much. You've shared a lot, and I know that you have definitely made a difference in the life of several people out there who have been struggling with this issue. And hopefully we can all get to the place where we can just love ourselves unconditionally. Absolutely unconditionally. So thank you. Just FYI, for those who are watching, next week, Father's Day weekend, the Cookie Man and I will not be here because it's Father's Day weekend. But in 2 weeks, we'll be back. And the subject then is going to be the impact of social media on relationships. So that impact of social media on relationships. That's in 2 weeks. Cookie Man and I will be here talking about that. So again, thank you all so much for being here. God bless you. Have a wonderful night, ladies. I love you.
Take care.
Take care now.
Bye.